Alright, let's talk about something that might sound crazy at first. Ichigo was actually weaker while using his Vizard mask. Yeah, you heard that right. The very thing that was supposed to make him stronger, tapping into his hollow powers, was actually holding him back from his true potential. And nowhere is this more obvious than when you compare his fights against Grimmjow and Ulquiorra to when he went up against Byakuya. By the end of this video, you'll see why Ichigo was stronger before relying on his mask, and how his Vizard transformation was a crutch rather than an upgrade.
Damn it! It's all for nothing if I don't win!
It's a big problem for me if you get yourself killed.
Who or what are you?
So, let's break this down. First off, let's rewind to Ichigo's fight against Byakuya. At this point in the series, Ichigo had just mastered Bankai, Tensa Zangetsu, and he was fighting at his purest, with no outside interference from his hollow. This is Ichigo at his most Zanpakuto focused state, and that's key. With just his Bankai and raw swordsmanship, he was keeping up with Byakuya, a captain who had years of experience and a Bankai built for overwhelming opponents. Ichigo wasn't relying on tricks or transformations, just his speed, instincts, and pure control over his Zanpakuto.
What's the matter? Am I moving too slow for you?
The moment Ichigo's hollow took over, sure, he got a temporary boost in power, but he completely lost control. He wasn't fighting with any skill, he was just swinging wildly like a berserker. That moment foreshadowed the problem he faced later when he tried to actually harness his hollow powers without fully syncing them with his Zanpakuto. Now, fast forward to the Arrancar arc. Ichigo trains with the Vizards and learns how to control his hollow mask, gaining a temporary power boost when using it. But here's the problem, it's not really his power. It's a separate force, something he has to constantly suppress and control rather than something that's actually part of his natural strength. Compare this to Byakuya, his power is an extension of himself. His Bankai, full control. His techniques fully mastered. Ichigo, on the other hand, is using a hollow's mask. That's basically just boosting his stats artificially, rather than refining his own abilities. Nowhere is this weakness clearer than in his fights with Grimmjow and Ulquiorra. When Ichigo fights Grimmjow, he's stronger on paper than he was against Byakuya. He has the mask, higher speed, stronger attacks, but look at the fight closely. Even with the mask, Ichigo can barely keep up. The moment the time limit runs out, he's struggling, and his movements aren't as fluid or as instinctive as they were against Byakuya. He's second guessing, fighting against himself as much as he is his opponent. Now, compare this to Byakuya. Ichigo never had a time limit. He was moving naturally, instinctively, fully in sync with his Zanpakuto. Against Grimmjow, he's relying on an unstable power that's literally on a timer, rather than something he has full mastery over. And let's not forget, the Vizard mask breaks multiple times. If this was really his power, why would it have such a strict limit? It's clear that his hollow abilities were never fully his to command, and instead of making him stronger, they were acting like a borrowed power that he had to struggle to control. Then comes Ulquiorra.
So you've noticed. Quite frankly, I'm amazed that you have.
And this is where it gets even worse.
I know.
Even with his mask, Ichigo is completely outclassed. His hollow enhanced Bankai is nothing compared to Ulquiorra's Segunda Etapa. He's trying to fight, but it's obvious he's still holding back his true potential. And then, the moment that proves everything, Hollow Ichigo awakens. instant Ichigo stops trying to control his power and lets it take over completely, he's suddenly beyond captain level. His speed, strength, regeneration, it's all leagues ahead of what he could do with just his Visored mask. This tells us one thing: the true power Ichigo needed wasn't his Visored abilities at all. It was the full hollow transformation, the real force behind his Zanpakuto. The Visored mask was a limiter, keeping him from fully embracing his hollow side. This is why Ichigo's power progression is so unique. Unlike other characters who just train and get stronger, his biggest challenge is understanding himself. When he fought Byakuya, he was at his most pure, just Ichigo and his Zanpakuto, perfectly in sync. When he fought Grimmjow and Ulquiorra, he was fighting against himself, relying on a power that wasn't truly his, and that's why he was ultimately weaker. It's only when Ichigo completely embraces his hollow side later on, whether it's in his Vasta Lorde form or when he finally unlocks his true Zanpakuto, that he reaches his actual peak. The Visored mask was never his true strength, it was just a stepping stone to understanding the power within him. So, in the end, Ichigo is actually stronger when he fought Byakuya than when he fought Grimmjow or even Ulquiorra, because back then he wasn't holding himself back. He wasn't trying to juggle different powers. He was just fighting as himself. The Visored mask was a limitation, a half measure, and at the moment Ichigo stopped relying on it, he finally unlocked his real strength. If you made it this far, drop a comment and let me know what you think. Was Ichigo really weaker with the mask, or do you think it actually helped him? Also watch this video.